moving on to nationalism. Don't judge the way I say it. I'm going to start with the definition from good old Google. So it's a strong belief that the interests of a particular national state are of primary importance. Also the belief that an independent national free of foreign dominance. So an example that we're going to talk about is World War II and the Nazis. Alright, so leading on from the Nazis, they like pure races and they believed that everyone should be the same. So in their beliefs, they thought that it should be blue eyes and blonde hair. But of course we know as a civilised country and world now that isn't acceptable. So from their view of nationalism, it took it to the extreme. And of course these factors led to World War II and we can see nationalism caused the World War II.
So another cause of war is through politics. For this example I'll be using the violent uprisings in Weimar Germany from 1919 till 1923. The first violent uprising was the Kapp Putsch, which is led by a man called Wolfgang Kapp, and he was a right-wing journalist, meaning that he's a very extreme person. That being said, he opposed everything that the Weimar government believed in and was keen to try and overthrow them. Also, Wolfgang Kapp and the Kapp Putsch as a whole believed that the whole of Germany were completely unfairly treated by the consequences of the Treaty of Versailles, which gave them the whole blame for World War I, and the government just accepted it without even trying to make amendments.
Nice.
The second violent uprising was the Munich Putsch. The Munich Putsch was led by the Nazi group, obviously led by Hitler. He attempted to overthrow the government by power and force, not throw anything smart really, and they ended up just being outnumbered in the Munich high streets, and resultantly Hitler got shot, got sent to jail, so it was a massive failure. The third violent uprising was the Spartacists. They were a full communist party. There was 50,000 of them involved, led by a man called Rosa Luxemburg. He believed that the country should be run by working class people, and they went on a patrol through the streets, not trying to get in any violence, but unfortunately that come back to bite them. They were met by a group called the Free Corps, which are ex-soldiers, and the Spartacists were not trained fighters, so resultingly they got pushed back, forced to surrender, and injured.
Another cause of war is through resources and want for land, if you will. First I'm going to be using the current Ukrainian war. Basically what this is all about is Russia are wanting access to the sea more than anything, and they are doing this by trying to take the land in the Crimean. It's easier to do trade during bad conditions and bad weather.
One of the conflicts of war and a factor of war is religion. One of the wars between religion is between the Sikhs and Muslims. A man that started one of these wars is Guru Nanak. He was a religious man who was to believe by people to do holy stuff. He left home in 1469 with a family of Muslims to go around to Mecca, and Nanak wrote along the way of his religious findings. Nanak's followers followed both Muslims and Hindus equally, so when he died in 1539 there was conflict between Muslims and Hindus. Muslims wanted to bury Nanak because they believed he was one of them, and Hindus wanted him to be cremated because he believed he was a Hindu towards the end.
Alright, so the War Trial Charity, they go to war-torn countries such as Syria, and they provide them with clean clothes, shoes, water, food, basically supplies that they need to live on, toothbrushes. It makes the child feel better, and plus it shows that they're actually trying to make a better life for them. Along with this, it gives them education, which will help them later in life, which will lead to a more successful adulthood, my people. And lastly, there are some other charities that do help, such as Syrian Relief, Care International and the British Red Cross. Thought I'd better include them, just in case you wanted to know. And just to finish off the disaster relief, just linking it to the UPS, UK UPS, you get a lot of firefighters tend to go aboard and help. Along with this, you obviously get other services such as the Navy and the Army. They do their best to go out there and try and help people, obviously escape rubble and all of that stuff. Enjoy.
Effects of war and conflict, security and evacuation. As a result of conflict or war happening overseas in other countries, it puts pressure on the countries involved, and also just any country really, to make sure that their country is secure, safe and well protected. Obviously all the military, all the emergency services are all involved, whether that's on land, across land, or it could even be out at sea patrolling, making sure there's no threats coming in. Also they'll be up in the air, making sure they've got a sky vision.
One of the factors that affects the UPS in the UK is peacekeeping. Definition of peacekeeping is the active maintenance of the truth between nations or communities, especially by an international military force, like Cyprus. In 1974, the Turkish army tried to invade Cyprus and take it over, so then the British army had to step in. To keep peace, now what the British army do nowadays is there's buffer zones where both of the sides, the Turkish and the Greeks, go to like try and have a fight, like that. And then the army, the British army, have to be there to stop them from fighting and keep peace. This is important in the UK for the UPS because if a fight was to break out there and they had another war, then they'd have to be involved, but because they're there keeping peace, they don't have to. Just the war's not going to happen.
Okay, so we've chosen to specify the RAF. We thought they were effective because not only did they drop out of air supplies, e.g. ammo and food supplies to our forces, they also bombed the Argentinian forces to obviously lead to more casualties and making it easier for us to invade it back.
With the Falklands War, I found some statistics on the RAF. Total number of personnel went out was 39,750, 151 helicopters, 79 tankers and transport, 329 combat aircraft and 20 recon and patrol aircraft. 255 Brits died in the Falklands and 632 Argentinians died in the Falklands.
So short-term and long-term effects of war. So short-term, life loss. Obviously people will get killed, it's just inevitable that it's going to happen in a war. Obviously there's reproduction. Homelessness is also a short-term as well as a long-term, because houses will get rebuilt, accommodation will be given if it's available. Long-term, there'll be pollution from numerous different machinery that's been used during the war. And the big issue for long-term is psychological and emotional effects on the soldiers or anyone that's involved. Once it's ended, you're just going to have those thoughts in the back of your mind for the rest of your life, and you unfortunately get help with it, but it's always going to be there.
Such as homelessness and the lack of life can affect the whole community, and war affects the whole community obviously, and it's obviously leaves a negative effect on the country.
We believe that the purpose can change from what you need when it comes to war, but we believe that the purpose of certain wars are necessary, but others are not.